Welcome to Twinset&Purl's Knitting Podcast, episode 70. Wow.
I know.
70 episodes.
Yeah.
So I'm Jo.
I'm Rachel.
And we are Twinset&Purl. What do we do? We design knitting patterns, we do lots of knitting, and we come on here to tell you all about it.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot to talk
twins.
about today. Yeah, we had a
we've got a plan.
yeah, we had a bit of a conflab while I was driving over. So we're all hopefully all organised.
Yep. So it's been a while since our last. We were on live on Instagram.
Yeah, we
Easter
had
weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had a
Easter
new
Sunday.
pattern. We had a new pattern release,
And
we came on to share it with you
yeah,
guys. Rachel was with me. I cooked a roast lamb, which was delicious.
it was very nice.
And we popped on just to say hi to everybody.
But I'm still going to talk about like my FO that I talked about that day.
Oh yeah. So we've got some admin at the beginning, or maybe a little bit of life update, and then admin, and then the usual, what we're wearing, FOs, WIPs,
But it's been a while.
acquisitions.
So there's
We were discussing books and podcasts and patterns, which I realise are on my phone, which we're recording on. So could take a while. So that might be another. I can talk about.
You can say the name and then.
Well, you might have to look them up on Ravelry. And
that'll do. That'll work. I think.
So,
So you've been on holiday.
I've been on holiday.
Bought me a little present. Beautiful blue.
I came back. That's the one I got.
So
I came back from Tenerife yesterday. Just had a week by the pool, sunbathing and relaxing and knitting. An old friend of mine from university joined us for most of it. Chris and I had a couple of days on our own, and then she joined us, and it was lovely to spend some time with her. We haven't spent that much time together, probably since we lived together.
Yeah, we went to Barcelona together.
Yeah, but this was like 6 days.
Yeah.
So 5 days.
I was with her that long in Barcelona.
Yeah, I went home early night because I got a new job. Anyway, that's a whole nother story.
Whole lifetime.
We had a lot of reminiscing, which I think my husband might have, although I think he probably heard some stories that he hadn't heard before, which was quite funny. So we came back, lots of knitting was done. Came back yesterday, and it was as warm here in the UK as it had been in Tenerife, apart from
I think it had been warmer.
It had been warmer, but I was saying to a lady I was chatting to yesterday when I got fish and chips. I couldn't bother to cook because I got fish and chips for tea. But the thing with Tenerife is you get up and it's hot.
Yeah.
Whereas here it has to build up through the day,
And
doesn't
it's till it's proper summer. I just realised that I have not looked at.
So it's
So I shall quickly.
so I think it was warmer. It was done on the last entries.
Okay.
It was warmer here than it was in Tenerife, and a couple of days it was really cloudy and really quite breezy. But it made it nice for sitting out because you didn't get too hot. So altogether a lovely time away. Yeah, they are. So we have every month we do a pattern giveaway for one of the people who've posted in the T&P WIPs thread on our Ravelry group. So if you look below in the show notes, if you haven't seen before, we've got all our contact details there. Plus we've got a Ravelry group and there's a couple of threads that are going. We've got KAL, and we've got.
I was actually thinking of in the Facebook group, which is growing, putting every month, putting what of our pattern. Show us your Twinset&Purl WIPs in May, and people can post underneath, and we can pick from there as well.
So what we do is we pick the one we like the most, and we that person wins a prize. Doesn't have to be one of our patterns. Okay, that person gets to pick a pattern, and we will buy you a pattern up to the value of £10. Yeah. And this month is a lady called crystaljo who's knitting a Simon. So and
she loves it by the look of her emojis.
So if you get in touch with us, crystaljo, we will let us know which pattern you'd like us to purchase you. We will send you that as a gift, and yeah, that's all you need to do. Yeah, cool. That's the only kind of gifty prize we've got this time.
Although we have got a giveaway. We
haven't got a winner to announce though. We've got to talk about it.
I wrote it in the wrong place.
What have you been up? Sorry, we've jumped ahead. What have you been up to? You were too busy looking at Instagram. Looking at Ravelry.
I've had a funny. I think I mentioned it on the live that my Easter weekend was a weekend of two halves. The first half I nearly got divorced, and the second half we had a lovely time together. We got new furniture, which the whole thing was a farce from start to finish, really. We got new furniture because Jo came to visit and her reclining seat didn't work. So my husband immediately is a catastrophist. What that word is?
Catastrophizer.
Yeah. He immediately was like, well, we've got to get new ones because if that motor's gone, that motor's going to go, blah, 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 boring. So the next day we went and we chose this furniture, which it was the only one in the shop that I liked, and we walked around for so many times, I managed to persuade him to get. It takes 12 weeks, doesn't it, to come? And this is about 2 weeks. The day after we could have cancelled the order, the seat started working again. And I loved those sofas. So when the new sofa and chair arrived, it was different for my knitting. It was a bit wider, so my arm, I needed, all that kind of, I felt higher up. I just felt discombobulated by it all. Plus, my husband had tidied up my stuff. That's what caused the argument. Anyway, flash forward a day, we were fine. The chair's now fine. We've got somebody who would like our old sofa and chairs. So all worked out in the end, and Mark and I are very happy. A lot of stuff has been sorted out. If you come into my living room, it no longer looks like a yarn shop. And whenever I've had visitors, they've gone home with either a handbag, a project bag, and some yarn. So it's all good because a bit more yarn has come into the house. But yeah, I enjoyed I've had a little bit of a haircut. I enjoyed.
Chris and I also had an argument that weekend.
Yeah, you did.
And we hardly ever have raised voices.
Yeah.
But I was mad. I had a migraine.
Yeah. And
we'd been out shopping and I got a migraine.
He wasn't
so
very,
I took my tablets, but I wasn't able to go and collapse in a bed or anything for ages. So when we got home, I did, and I slept for 2.5 hours,
which was not allowed.
And then I woke up and he's like, "We've got chores to do," and I got told off for not being happy. about doing chores. He's like, you just want to be knitting, don't you? And I was like, well, let's face it, babe. Almost anything you could get me to ask me to do, I'd rather be knitting.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not really.
Come and see all this gold I bought you. I'd still rather be knitting.
I was just like,
I know.
yeah.
So they don't get it. They don't get it.
No.
And I will. This is about how bad it got in my house. He thought that sorting out the stuff in the living room involved taking every single ball of wool out of a bag, including the knitting that was with it. I still don't. I said to him, we don't think the same way at all. And then we moved the table out, and we were bringing down a unit from upstairs, IKEA Calyx unit from upstairs to go in where the table had been. And he wanted to bring the unit down before he took the table out. I was like, what kind of logic is that? I was like, today we're using Rachel's logic. I've just seen a bag you've got that I really want. Oh. Yeah, so it's been fun, but we've Mark took a few days off. I took Friday off this weekend. We've already had it always feels like Sunday because we were out yesterday.
It should be Friday for me today because I normally come over here on a Friday.
Yeah, that's true.
And we woke up and Chris didn't get out of bed, and I was like,
"It's Friday.
It's Friday. What are you doing?" Yeah,
anyway, I'll just tell you these lovely flowers. My friend Jan came to visit me this week, and she is a lovely lady who I taught to knit socks, and she realised, so she watches the podcast and she knew that I lived in Didcot. She lives in Didcot, and stalking is a bit too far, I think, but she did comment a few times and about that I teach sock knitting. Anyway, she won a prize, and when she sent me her address, I said to her, do you want to meet me for a coffee rather than posting it? And ever since then we've knitted and nattered together, and she brought me these lovely tulips, and we worked out, she likes to cruise with her husband, and we've worked out that it's nearly a year since we last knitted and nattered. So we're going to make sure we do it more often because it was just wonderful to see.
This year has just flown.
It has, yeah. It's crazy.
Mad. Yeah.
So that is it, really. Although should I just tell them the little bet that Mark and I had that I won? Amazing.
Can do.
So
can't remember what it is.
So when I was not very well on the last episode, I think it was, I'd not been very well. I've been day low. My platelets were low, and they were still low, and they were just okay. And so we had a bet, and I thought that it should be more of if the platelets are low, you should get the reward, but it wasn't. It was if the platelets were high. So if they were above 50, I'd get a skein of yarn. And I was thinking they're never going to be above 50. They were 50 when we started this cycle of chemo. Anyway, I got my results this week and they were 52. So I could buy a skein of yarn. So that's exciting, isn't it? Everybody, bet you're excited that my platelets are 52. But yeah, so that's going well. Right.
Do you know what yarn you want? Have you not already been planning
Well, I kind of want 2 skeins because West Yorkshire Spinners' exquisite 4-ply is half price on Wool Warehouse. So it's $9.99 and they've got a beautiful green called Ivy that I would love to knit. Well, I might do a slightly smaller Rachel because make sure 2 skeins will be enough. But yeah, so I might just order that. 20 quid I think is... Yeah. He doesn't watch this, so.
What's next on the
list is, so we've done that. We've got to talk about the patterns that are coming out tomorrow. And I forgot something to bring. It's in the living room.
Okay, I'll go and get that in a minute.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
Rachel. So if I get the picture, we've been organising, one of the things we're going to talk about, next thing we'll talk about after this is Big Flock. And so we've been organising our pattern, our shawls and stuff for Big Flock. And Jo has taken home with her the Rachel shawl.
And so the Rachel shawl was designed in collaboration with Nellie and Eve, and it was released at the February Unravel.
So Helen
has
the
the original sample,
and then I test knitted it, and I knitted mine in Drops Flora, that beautiful pink, and you'll have seen if you watched a few podcasts ago. So I then took the pattern and put it on a sock. The Rachel socks, which I talked about last time. And
that's in Helen's new yarn, isn't it?
And then that's Rachel shawl with this lovely lace edging. So they were exclusive to Helen until Wonderwool Wales, which was last weekend. And then this weekend she's got an update tomorrow. So tomorrow it's 8 p.m, May the 4th at 8 p.m. She is her update, and we agreed that we would wait until her update to release the patterns. So we are going to give you a little bit of a discount. So she's going to send you to our Ravelry shop from now on to buy the patterns. So so those are the Rachel socks and the Rachel shawl.
There will be a 10% discount on the patterns, but they will be added to the podcast bonus. So if you're watching the podcast and you really want to buy the Rachel shawl or Rachel socks, then have a look in the show notes on any podcast, because the show notes for this one won't be up necessarily, but any of the podcasts, and they give you the podcast bonus code there. Don't we need the lights on?
Let's have a go. Alexa, dining on.
That's a bit better, isn't it?
That's a bit better. You're gonna you've just added on the code for the 10%. No, not yet. Okay.
No, it'll be next on it'll be on the pattern page,
and it'll be on Instagram
and on Ravelry.
Oh yeah, and then you'll announce it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Right, so Jo's going to just pop and get my design that's coming out at Big Flock, and somewhere I've got my stuff is a bit disorganised, I'm afraid, today. I had the leaflet about Big Flock I was going to show, but we don't need to show you that really. Go on Instagram. We will also link the website, because you can buy tickets to Big Flock. It's 2 weeks today and tomorrow, and it's in Bristol, just off the M32, M4, Jim? Quite close to the M4.
It's where the
M4 and the M32 meet.
Yeah.
In a fantastic venue. We've got a booth showing all our designs, and we're going to have QR codes to get you to the Ravelry page. We're going to have a show discount. And stuff like that. Anyway, I've got 2 designs coming out. So this one is with the Wool Kitchen, and I'm calling it the Divine Flower Cowl, because I added the mohair to this pattern and it looks like chrysanthemums to me, and they are divine. It means divine flower. So yeah, so this is knitted in. It's beautiful. It's their luxury silk, merino silk 50/50.
It is gorgeous
yarn, and their mohair, which is called Neon Glow. This like pop of colour, and the main colour is Skyfall. So this one will be on the Wool Kitchen stand with kits, and then I've bought some more yarn this week to knit one for us, because I suddenly realised that perhaps we ought to have a thing as well, and that will have a kind of our usual discount off it for launch time. And then I have got a sock design that I'm going to. Should I talk about that? We're going to have sock talk today, so
we'll
I'll talk about
that
there.
Yeah.
So
we're in hall 1, big flock.
Yeah.
Stand 8.
And we're also doing the podcaster meetup on the Sunday. We're the last ones at 1:30 and we're on our own. So please come and say hello if you're there, because we don't want to be Billy No Mate, or we don't really, just the two of us.
And if you are there on Saturday, we're not doing one on Saturday. So come to our stand.
Come to the stand and say hi. And we've got some little treats. And we're also going to do a kind of mini bit like a raffle. But maybe we should talk about it now, because we're not going to.
Yeah.
So we're going to give away a skein of the Twinset&Purl colourway by Bird Street Yarn each day. So one skein on Saturday and one skein on Sunday. So if you come to the stand, you just have to give us either your Instagram name or your Ravelry name or whatever. It'll be next to a number, and then we'll pick a number on the Saturday and get in touch, or pick a number on the Sunday and get in touch, using our lovely friend in the corner that we use. So the other thing that we're doing, we're going to give away today, or this episode, is 2 tickets to the show. So
they'll be to the same person.
Either, I think so. I was thinking about this, and I was thinking, what if they don't want to? Then I think we should maybe give 2 lots of 1 ticket.
Yeah, and then
because you would have to bring a friend.
If you want to bring a friend, you can buy your own ticket.
Yeah, in a way.
We're
going to give 2 tickets away.
Yeah,
and we are actually buying these tickets. It's not we were offered them from John and Claire, but we've decided that we want Big Flock to be a success, and so we don't want them to be giving away tickets all the time. You know, they have given them away to other people, but we are happy to buy 2 tickets for 2 of you to come along. So if you would like a ticket, please comment below and either mention ticket, I guess.
Mention ticket. Yeah.
Don't
tell us what you're looking forward to about the show.
Yeah. Not just seeing us.
Big head.
I was joking. Joking. Right.
Yeah. And we will let people know before the end of. So you've got till Saturday, next Saturday, the 11th. Is it the 11th or the 12th? No, it's not at all that at all.
No, it's the 10th.
Saturday's the 10th.
Maybe Sunday night, and I'll pick 2. And I'll pick 2 tickets on Sunday night, and I'll do a little short on here.
Oh, right, okay.
And say who you are, but I'll obviously contact, either reply to no. No, what we'll do is, if you know that you've put ticket, watch the little short and then get in touch. I will say the 2 winners on Sunday night. How about that? Yeah. Next Sunday the 12th, 10th, 11th. Oh my God. Sunday the 11th of May. Right. So
I've been on holiday for a week. I've got no idea what the date is.
I've got no excuse. So the next thing we had to talk about, we're not going to talk right now, we're going to talk about it in sock talk. So the next thing to talk about is our new KAL. That neither of us have got the yarn to show you what we're going to make for ours.
I can tell you what mine is, what my yarn is.
So we talked about it last episode, and people said yes, they wanted a KAL. So we are going to do the Lady Violet, and we've decided to add in Lady Whistledown. Make them into a tee, or you can, if you don't want to do a tee, it's up to you. But those 2 sweaters will be in the KAL, and it's going to last from. So it's I'll put a thing on Ravelry today.
Yeah. So from today,
3rd of May till end of July.
yeah, 31st
of July. And then, so I'm using a cotton DK, which is why I'm thinking I'm going to knit the lady whistledown as a tee, because I think the detail on the sleeves will be lovely. And we are going to have a chat in the Facebook group, and we might even do a Zoom, because a couple of people mentioned that they were glad that we were going to do it, because they're always unsure how to make it into a tee. And it is incredibly simple to make it into a tee, but you know, you may not have like the confidence or know what size you want the sleeves to be or anything like that. So I was thinking that we could have a chat. It's easier to chat on the Facebook group than it is in Ravelry. So in Ravelry we'll still have a chatter thread and a FO thread. That's the other one. I need to put an FO
but
thread.
But discussion will be in the Facebook group.
If you want to more of a chat.
So I don't think I'm going to make a tee, because my yarn is drops alpaca and knitting for olive mohair.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to knit sleeves, at least sleeves to kind of.
So you've got enough yarn.
I've got enough yarn.
I've got plenty of yarn, because I actually bought the yarn to knit Lady Violet, but I was going to change the gauge. So I think in that time there's going to be enough time to knit both of them. So if people want advice on changing the gauge, because I did it for so it's the very similar gauge to the Love Note, and it's original was knit with 4-ply and mohair. So I then knitted a Love Note in a DK cotton silk and went down,
which I've got on it.
Yeah, and it worked really well. So that was my thinking for this cotton for the Lady Violet. So you never know what might happen, but
you might knit
but I might knit both of them. So if people want that, that we can talk about all sorts of things in the Facebook group, and I think it'll be lots of fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, so
Lady Violet's a really quick knit.
And I knitted and wrote the whistledown pattern in.
Because you can also get, is it called tick liner? The thick linen. Yeah. That would work.
Because anything that you would knit a ranunculus in, they're all the same, a similar gauge to the Lady Violet. So yeah, I think there's lots of options, and that's another. I get quite a few people contacting me about swapping yarn and because we make you do it sometimes and you make a mistake, but we've got quite a lot of experience of
the way that, just off the top of my head, the way that I do it, because I often convert a DK pattern into a fingering weight,
and she doesn't often swatch.
No. But I know how many stitches I need before I split for sleeves.
Yeah. We don't talk about this now.
No, I know, but I know what I need in a fingering weight. Yeah. So I just find the size in the DK that's that basically.
Yeah. So
I don't try and knit a thinner yarn at a higher gauge necessarily. No. So there are different ways of doing it.
I wouldn't say use 4-ply for a Lady Violet unless you're going to add mohair. But I think you could get away with DK, cotton's quite plump and
So there's two ways of doing it, isn't it? There's knitting a thinner yarn at a higher gauge, or there's knitting at the gauge you'd normally knit your thin yarn at and picking a bigger size. So you can. Yeah.
But we can talk about that in more detail. So both the patterns are available in.
And the other thing about it is, They're both raglans.
Yeah, so very
so
easy
you can find the gauge
Yeah.
that you like, and then you can adapt as well. So,
and you can easily make a longer yoke or stuff like that. Yeah. So just realised that I didn't do that. So both of those Jo will link them in the show notes.
Yeah.
And obviously you can use the discount, the bonus podcast discount to sorry, doesn't matter, whatever, blah blah blah. Sorry.
I was just thinking, we're half an hour in and we haven't got to any knitting yet. Come on.
Well, you were telling me how to.
No, I know, but just across.
Right, and the one last
I'm just as at fault, but I was just thinking, oh my God, come on.
The last thing to talk about is a show that we've been to one new show that we haven't been to, we've never been to before this year already. But our goal was to try and go to different shows.
Yeah.
And so we have decided to go to the Cumbria Wool Gathering,
which is in June.
Yeah, and it's
towards the end of it's 20th, is it?
And it's 20th and 21st.
Yeah.
So we're going to both days. If you're going, come along. If you're going, say hello to us. I mean, we're going to be there. If you're thinking about it, I think it looks amazing. It looks really good, and it's literally just off one of the motorway junctions. Yeah. So really easy to get to. We might tell you this funny story about where we're staying later on, as we get closer to the day. And both the myeloma patterns will be released that week. So, and Amy from Mamie and Florrie, still can't say it, will be there, and the yarns that I'm using are her yarns. So, it'll be lovely.
Cool.
And I've wanted to go up there with you. I don't think we've ever been that far up together, country.
Well, you came to my wedding.
Oh yeah,
but we've never driven
together.
No.
And Jo stayed in this lovely hotel near Lancaster that I really wanted to stay at with her, but it turned out it wasn't available. But
it's a very small, like, boutique hotel.
It's also, we decided to be a bit closer to the venue. Anyway, we are going. So that'll be good. Something to look forward to for June. And that is it for the admin section. So quickly, we're both wearing FOs, so we can talk about them and quickly go to the FO section because we've got so much to talk about. So right.
So what are you wearing?
I'm wearing Paige. That is one of the Power of 3, and I've talked about it.
£6, isn't it?
I think so, or 7.
Did you make it 7?
I think it was 7. But there's 3 patterns in it. It's amazing, and I'm addicted. I'll show you my page number 2. So I'm doing page 1, page 2, page. Already got one skein. This is not one skein. This is Isaiah Eco, not Eco Fine.
Something soft.
Eco Soft? No. Yak Soft. Anyway, I've talked about it in the past podcasts.
I haven't got the label.
It is beautiful. It's brushed up. It's alpaca with yak and silk, and it's addictive, and it's so soft. And the sun's come out, but it's still. I wanted to wear it. So I'm really glad that the temperature isn't 28 today. So yeah, so I'm wearing my Paige, and the information about the yarn, colour and everything will be in there.
Yeah, because you talked about it before.
But beautiful yarn.
Yeah.
You can get your hands on some.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I'm wearing my medium version of Alexander, and I need to take it off and show because of the Zara ball. So it's
then we can talk about our Alexanders.
So it's knit with a Zara ball and a skein of sock yarn from Botanical Yarn in the colourway Pampas Grass.
Wow.
And this this Zarable was called Painter's Corner or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's Painter's Corner.
And it is just, it's just a rainbow
Yeah.
of colour.
I like the blue.
Yeah, I think my favourite bit is this bit here
I like pink and yellow.
as well.
Oh, it's gorgeous. This is the medium size.
But it's the thing I like about it is, okay, you get different widths of stripe because as you increase, you've got more stitches.
Yeah.
But then it's not a regular stripe anyway in a Zarable.
No,
and you
there's
get
a lot
like
more
this
green.
this bit here is quite large section of one colour. And then it looks like that. Then when you wear it, it looks completely different.
And this is what happened with my first Simon. I knitted with a Zarable.
Yeah.
I didn't like it when I finished knitting it. Put it on and I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's beautiful, Jo. So you've now knitted one of each size.
One of each
you?
size and the cowl.
Yeah. So I have going to show you the picture of my John.
Leave that off for now because I've got more shawl FOs.
My Alexander that John is wearing, because I knitted it as a sample for Bird Street yarn. So here he is, looking lovely in his knitwear. He was at Wonderwool. So my Alexander was knitted in their merino yak nylon base. In Hepburn and Barricane, the yellowy gold is Hepburn and the blue is Barricane. And I loved every minute of it. So the minute I finished, I cast on the cowl. Oh, I forgot to do something. Can I do it after I talked about this? So this is...
I'm surprised you're not wearing that.
It's also an acquisition. I'll put it on. We went to Oxford Yarn Store. I think I showed it on the live because I'd started it straight away. And it's knitted in Isaiah baby yarn, which is baby because it's baby yarn. Yeah, I can show you. I bought to show you how much. So the colour is this edition 3.
It's a sport weight, isn't it?
It is a sport weight. So it's a little bit bigger. How many metres
do you get on it?
You get 150.
Right.
So that's how much of the edition 3 I had left. And I had to start this second ball of the baby yarn because I did the rib in one colour on the back. So I don't know if you can, it doesn't, but it's gorgeous, isn't it? And it's just feel it. Put it on.
There's the back.
Yeah, so I decided to put my back in one colour.
Oh, it's nice in this yarn, this weighty,
it's
isn't
gorgeous,
it?
yeah.
Weighty.
It's cool. It feels, it's cool. It's so cool. It's lovely, isn't it?
Yes.
So,
is there any cotton in that?
I don't think so. I've got a ball band here because I cast on the second one. Oh, it is. Baby alpaca and organic cotton. 150 metres per 50 grams.
Nice.
And
nice. Very nice.
That's my other colour. I think that was colour.
So 0. If you'd have to check your gauge. You just buy 2 balls.
No, what I do is weigh it.
Yeah, but if your gauge is slightly off, you're going to run out of yarn.
Yeah.
So you either want to have 2 balls. It did feel
a bit like yarn.
Yeah.
I did buy a second ball of each of them. And then it worked.
You could miss. Oh, there's hardly any in the middle though, isn't there?
There is, but
well, this is a medium, is it?
No.
Small.
Yeah. It's perfectly formed.
Oh my word.
Small but perfectly formed. I think it is.
What's that colourway?
I looked it up. Let me look it up. translated it, I think. Or was that the one I'm using for page?
I don't know why more people don't use this instead of spin cycle.
I know. I think that's what's happening in this, you know, because we can't get it as easily, can we? But
that would be so gorgeous, that colourway in a sweater yoke.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, excuse me, people.
Dew Point.
Hungry and I'm making
It's called.
yawn.
It's Dew Point, and it's number 2301.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
So that information will be down below. It is amazing, Jo. I love it. It's, yeah. So I've had some lovely finished FOs, and then I have me. It's you. It is. It is you, because
yeah. So I've got John. I finished John last night. So I started this on holiday in California in September.
after John came out.
I finished another shawl in California, and then I haven't brought the bits leftover bits. I brought the 2 balls of yarn, and I wanted to knit a Simon, and it's quite a fine yarn. It's alpaca, linen and silk from Ginger Twist
In Edinburgh.
in undyed and called
is
Blimey.
It is.
It is a really fine.
Yeah.
And it didn't look right. I think I might have needed to go down a needle size for a Simon, so I decided to knit John, and I'm really happy with it. It looks really long, but actually when you wear it, it isn't.
And it's this lovely, if you remember,
The
this lovely corrugated pattern.
And you kind of get reverse stocking stitch and stocking stitch.
And you have to be quite close, I think, for this one. These 2 yarns to see.
Yeah.
It's not obvious on the. I suppose one of the.
You see the stripy cord.
So
I finished it last night. I knit it on the aeroplane, and then I knit something else by the pool, and I'd got.
How's that happening? Dad is messaging me.
I don't know.
I've put do not disturb.
Is he one person who's allowed to ring you? Yeah, so I stayed up to get it done last night. So the end's in this morning. Hasn't been.
I didn't block my John very much though, because I didn't want to get rid of the texture.
Yeah, I was going to give it a bit of a steam.
Yeah.
But let me just pop him on, and then you can see how
lovely he is.
Like drapes around.
Yeah.
So it looks like it's going to be like really loads of, but actually kind of like concertinas up.
Yeah, that's good.
How's that for summery?
Yeah. A normal British summer.
Yeah. I mean, in the evenings, it's just what you need, isn't it?
Yeah. And a denim jacket.
Yeah.
So it's available, that yarn's available.
I think so.
On their website.
I haven't checked their website, but this colour is called Blimey. The yellow, the sort of acid lime.
Did I bring Dad's socks in?
And I had a pink one as well that I bought at the same time called
Barbie, something Barbie.
Brighter Than Barbie. And I was thinking that I was going to do the yellow, the lime and the pink together.
Yeah.
But
that would have been pretty. Have you got any left over?
Tiny bit.
When you went to get the cowl, did you notice that Dad's socks were on the side?
The melanoma socks were on top of the cowl, but I didn't notice anything else.
Oh well.
Right, let me just show the next shawl, and then I will go and have a look if you want. What colour are they?
They're blue and green and white striping.
Oh right, yeah. I think I have seen them.
Yeah, I forgot to bring them in.
Okay,
Sorry.
so the next one that I finished and left blocking while I was on holiday is Granny Kathleen's buttons, and I sewed the buttons on this morning.
I'm calling her GKB short because
Which just fell over.
writing Granny Kathleen's buttons.
Right.
Oh, I love Granny
So-
Kathleen's buttons.
This is the random selection of buttons that I found in Granny Kathleen's button box. There's a diamante, a ladybird or a ladybug, as it's called in America.
They're the same on each side.
Yeah. A pearl, like a very fancy pearl.
A shell shape.
Yeah.
Pretty.
A flower, like a coral flower, and a tulip, and the shell.
It's lovely.
Then I tried it on and I realised that because you can take it apart and make a cowl, the buttons are at the back when you wear it. So Rachel and I were just trying to work out
A really good way. It was a good way for you to wear it. You put them behind.
yeah. So you kind of do that and then sweep it over your shoulder and then the buttons are there.
But you were thinking that you might add additional buttons.
Yeah, so I was thinking that I'm going to look through and see which ones I've got and then put another row of buttons down. So there's a central rib on the cowl, and you could put another row of buttons down there.
And have maybe plainer ones for the actual.
Yeah, and then yeah, so I'm making another version as well. I'm making a striped version, which I was planning to put plain buttons on. And obviously, if you were to take it apart and make the cowl, you could wear the buttons at the front.
Yeah.
And then we talked about last time about joining the two ends together, and then that would have that in the middle.
Yeah. And have like a little neckerchief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's a good plan.
yeah. So this yarn is blocked beautifully. This is Resolute by Telling Yarn.
And if you did a stripe, the shawl, you could like mix and match your bits.
Yeah.
You have a stripy centre or stripy ends.
And it's in the undyed, the
Lovely.
natural colourway. And it's beautiful, beautiful yarn.
Perfect.
And I've got the new one as a whip, so I can show you a tiny bit. It's only a tiny bit cast on this morning. Yeah, I have got to make a slight adjustment to where the buttonholes are in the pattern.
So you get one right on the edge.
So you get them right on the edge, and then
Sorry, finishing your sentences
yeah,
again.
and then spread out. But yeah, that's quite a good view, isn't it?
Yeah. Lovely.
Of the random buttons that were in our granny's button box.
Beautiful.
Oh, we love you, Granny Kathleen. Right, I'll go and find these socks while if you've got something else to show while I go and find Dad's socks.
Yeah, I'll show them. We're going to start sock talk. So I'm going to show them. I'll put my Rachel sock on. And a blacker. So because I gave my sample, or the sample was given to Helen, Nellie and Eve, and I in the past have done a similar pattern, and it looked really good on self-striping, so I thought I'm going to try it on self-striping. And unfortunately I haven't managed to block them yet, but you can see it's like a pattern, the centre of the central, so it looks really good on a blocker. You've got this lace going down there, and then on the back I did the edging lace as a panel down the back, which you can see. And yeah, so I will, these socks will be at Big Flock, but the pattern's coming out tomorrow. And I've got I want Jo to close her eyes and hold it in her hand. Oops. I did something while you were away. I got us something to take to the show.
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool. Oh, how cool is that?
So we've got merch. No, we haven't got merch. But,
Oh, that's so
doesn't that
cool.
look really good? So you can just go on the Yeti website and put your design on.
Wow.
I thought we can have our coffee at the stand. On our...
Love it.
I'll tell you how expensive they were after.
I want to drink out of it now, but it's going to need to be washed.
Yeah.
I wonder how well it stays on.
I think it must be quite good.
Mm.
I've never had a Yeti before.
Is it like that? So it's like scratched out. A bit. Anyway, let's talk about it now.
It is scratched out. You feel the teeth. Well, that's good. So
Funny.
Jo just went and got.
Sorry. I just
Jangled the thing.
jangled the thing. Apologies. I've
Are we
got my
straight?
raincoat
Are
on
we
the.
straight?
I think so.
Okay.
Got my
So-
raincoat on the.
I forgot to
Tripod.
say what the yarn was. So the yarn, hold that. I can show it. I've got to knit the second one, obviously. So the yarn is Dotty Wool Company, who doesn't dye anymore. And I got this, Sophie and I got some when she was having her closing sale. And this is I'm Really a Mermaid from the Dotty Wool Company, who was a lovely self-striping dyer, but it wasn't her main hustle, shall we say. And then the heel,
That's a lot of work, isn't it?
yeah, the heel and toe are done in another Dotty Wool Company mini that came with another sock set. So I don't know. Well, it's not called anything, but it is the same yarn, and I think they're beautiful. So they will be coming to Big Flock.
These are just so funny on the
These are big. I don't need any. They can't. There's no point even putting them on a blocker.
Dad's legs blocked.
Yeah. I have steamed them. These are we going to him next week? Now I've talked about them. There are 2 sleeves. This is the James C. Brett Funny Feets with bamboo in. I think it's lovely. I think he'll like them, and he's, poor thing, has to wear his
Support stockings
to help his,
because he's got bad
heart
circulation.
So yeah, so he'll be getting those next week. I did keep them till I, so we podcasted. Right, so I've done that. We've got to do our KAL socks
Yes.
now.
So I had a challenge in the last podcast.
You did?
To knit a whole sock.
What was my challenge?
I don't know.
that way?
I'd knit the leg, nearly all of the leg of my sock, and it was to finish the sock before this podcast. So this is, dun dun dun, this is my plumberry sock, and it's in the Coronation colourway by Botanical Yarn, which is beautiful.
I think I was supposed to finish both of mine. I
Were you?
haven't done one.
So I took this on my holiday, and I knit on the John Shaw on the aeroplane. Then when I got there, I knit on this and a new design, which I will show in a minute. This was in the apartment knitting, and the new design was by the pool knitting. And then when I finished this, I went back to the John, and that's how we got done. But I like to do my heel with 3 stitches of garter instead of
But you enjoyed the pattern, didn't you?
stitches. Loving the pattern. The pattern is it's 12-row pattern, but it's really easy to memorise because 5 of the rows are exactly the same.
Yeah.
And 6 of the rows are knit. So it's quite an easy pattern to remember. And there were 5 repeats in the leg and then 4 repeats.
Yeah, so we
after
haven't
the
done
gusset.
we haven't done amazingly in our cowl, have we?
What do you mean?
I thought I was going to knit a pair a month.
Oh, right. Well, I
stuff
didn't.
like that.
I never anticipated that. If I knit a whole pair in the cowl, I was going to be happy. And I've done one, so I've got May to knit the next one.
And these blockers are from Unwrapped Yarn.
Yeah.
With our...
So I'm very happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the yarn. I love these little like strips of pop of
all the colours.
pops.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So yeah.
So yes, so the cowl is the Botanical Sock knit along, and if you haven't heard us talk about it before, and all you have to do is finish one sock. Any of my Botanical Yarn sock club patterns, they are in ebooks. They're all available individually, but they're also in ebooks. 3 patterns. So there's 4 quarters to the year, and there's 8 ebooks because I designed 24 patterns in 2 years. And I have been knitting November 2023's pattern, which is the Rosa Coca Loca socks, which is named after a plant. I can't remember. And it has this lovely cable down each side of the foot. And I'm knitting them in the Carnation Sophie's Flower of the Month Club.
I like the heel colour.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like the main sock colour, but I really like the heel colour.
And it came with the mini to do the... Yeah, so I'm really enjoying... I started the second one. It's just there's been a lot of other things going on that mean it's... well, I've had a bit of cast-on-itis actually, but what I think I'm going to have to do now is not cast anything new on, except I've got to do, well, because I've got work, I've got to crochet my sample, and I've got to knit the Myeloma Cowl before Big Flock.
Yeah.
And then, but as I finish these things, I'm not going to cast on new.
Sorry. Commotion going on outside.
Never heard of commotion in Great Western Pond. Yeah, so that is that.
All of them?
Socks?
Yeah.
No.
Oh. You've covered the list up with your
All right, I've got a new design. Sorry, I haven't sewn my ends in and the needles in the sock.
You had a go at me for not kitchening my toes straight away, and I can't believe that you didn't sew your ends in as soon as you finished kitchening.
I'd completely forgotten that I think I kitchened loads.
Oh, right,
ago.
okay.
And I completely forgot that I have just this. If you could see my side of the thingy, so table. Just quickly say that's living in a really cute Kipling bag, which I think maybe it's supposed to be a wash bag. Oh no, whatever. Makeup bag or something, but it's really cute with a monkey. And the Rachel socks are living in my Somewhere Company day pouch thing, which is perfect, matches them. I'm going to put things away, make a bit more space. Right, so I have,
Where's that bag from?
this bag is from the Independent Cotton Company, and it is like a little kind of dop bag, I suppose.
Like a man's wash bag.
Yeah, but it's got this beautiful, it's you really in a bag, isn't it?
Mm.
It's tweed with olivey green and murky. I mean, you know, it may go your way if you wanted it, if you want it. But when we were tidying up, I did find this. And I've got a pair of scissors that fit in it. That's a little...
I give you that.
Yeah. Harris Tweed, I think.
Yeah.
Though it doesn't say We're not big enough to have the label put on it. But yeah, so I'm knitting the Simon socks in
That yarn's
Botanical
lovely.
Yarn in the Colin colourway. And
that's murky
Yeah.
green and
you've
blue.
got some of that, haven't you?
Not sure.
And then the other yarn is the Kremke Edelweiss
Leftovers.
it's got I knitted my Simon Cowell in it. It's got aloe vera, I think.
You brought another ball, or you knit? No.
So there's the leftovers.
And you decided to do the heels and toes in that?
There's plenty.
Okay, fine.
I'm nearly at the toe. Well,
I'd have been a bit more cautious. I think.
Really?
Obviously you weigh things, you know.
well, it is the design. So there's only one. It doesn't. I could do them the other way round for the pattern. No, sometimes it's the same colour.
Oh, right.
I think that I've thought that there, for example, but it's just the yarn is a different. Where you got the dot there, it's similar. It's all right. Anyway, Joe can correct me. So while I was knitting the leg, so the last time we talked about them, I'd only done about that much, and we talked about wanting to do the pattern all over the foot, so you're walking on this pattern as well, because
The different gauge.
because it's in garter really, you'd on the foot, to get the foot to be not too long, the top would have to really stretch. So yeah, so I while I was knitting it, I was thinking, how am I going to do the decreases in the gusset if I do a normal heel flap and gusset in the pattern, and you know, how's it all going to work? Couldn't work. Well, then I had an epiphany of, this is the heel, it's called a mitered heel or a short row heel, and this is from the very first sock pattern that I ever wrote, and I think it was from a knit picks book on socks with all different types of heels and all different types of, and I really liked it. So basically, you, instead of, because this design as well would be really hard, even if you put an after, like a forethought heel line in, it's still difficult in the garter stitch to pick it up. So
So it's a bit like doing an afterthought heel,
Yeah.
but you do it as you go.
No, because you're working only on those.
No, I appreciate it's a different method, but it
It looks like one,
looks
yeah.
really similar.
So I've modified.
It's that shape, isn't
Yeah.
it? But
And I've modified it. Yeah, so it is, because that's what, this bit here is where you don't, it's not kitchenered, you just get to that many stitches and then you start working out again.
But it looks like the same sort of toe
Yeah,
shape,
so I
doesn't
managed
it?
to modify it so that the beginning of the round isn't where I would normally, it moves in a my normal pattern, but I worked it out and it will be in the pattern, and these will be going to be test knit. You all right?
Got fluff in my eye.
Oh no.
Can you see fluff?
No. Which, that one? I can see your contact lens. Sorry. I don't think I can help you. Is it really irritating? Is it as irritating as me? Yeah, so these will be out for testing soon. So
Are they quite thick though? Are they going to be?
You mean should we release the pattern later in the year?
No, I didn't mean that. I mean, like, are they? It's not the same as a stocking stitch sock. It's thicker than a stocking stitch sock.
Yeah, because you've got the yarns going across the. But I wouldn't say it was. It's cushy.
No, because it's also, I guess, there's little holes, isn't that?
Yeah.
Little slip where the slip stitch.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. I think I could have chosen more contrast yarns. And my lovely Maggie, test knitter extraordinaire, is going to knit another sample in 2 solid colours. So yeah, so they will be.
So you got to knit another one before flock, big flock.
No, these aren't coming out of big flock.
Oh right.
This I'm not sure when this pattern's going to come out.
Right.
Got to get tested.
Right.
So just keep an eye out on Instagram. That is where I will do the test. Unless you don't use Instagram and you desperately want to test them, I'll just say one thing, that you have to like purling. Well, no, you don't have to like purling. I think
if we could do our tests in the Facebook group.
Not everyone's on Facebook though. But I also, just to say that...
But they could have an account just to do, if they really wanted it.
The...
I guess the group.
You'd have to have a private...
The Instagram group is just as easy.
Yeah. You'd have to have a private test group on the Facebook page. Yeah, so if you really, really want to test them, I would say that it would get you used, because it does grow quicker than I thought.
Yeah.
So anyway, don't want to put people off, but I have one last.
Is it an easy stitch to do in the round?
Oh yeah, it's easy. It's only 60 something stitches, so you just go round and round.
Yeah.
Right. Got one more sock to show you. So, this
Two
is...
more socks.
Have I?
Well, on the list there's 2 more socks.
Oh yeah, I have got another sock. You are correct. Where did that go? Oh, it's in there. That's fine. I remember now.
What's in there then?
That's my Simon.
No, what's in that?
That one, page.
Oh, right.
So in my lovely bag that Claire made me from Twinset&Purl, from Bird Street Yarn, they designed or dyed up this beautiful colourway, which Jo will hold for us, called Twinset&Purl. And this is the yarn that we're going to be giving away at the show.
So it's sort of pale green.
Or having a giveaway for.
Pale green background with pinks and greens. And I'm going to like...
Put the...
Is there blue in there as well?
A little bit of blue, but I think it's coming from the green. But this is how it knits up. And it's gorgeous. I love it. And so I've made... Is it easier to show you the design? Not on the blocker, because it actually runs down just down the front. It's a very simple design. It's got 2 cables. So what I liked about the Jomo socks was the simplicity of the cable. So I decided to do 2 cables, one for me and one for Jo. Twin cables, and the twists go different directions but towards each other. Because
so much symbolism.
A bit silly, but when we were little, when we were babies, if we were ever put next to each other, we held hands. So, because, you know, we shared a womb and everything. And then down the middle is some really simple lace, which could be conceived to be the pearls of the Twinset&Purl. And it's very simple. So I think if you've never done lace before, it would be a really easy sock to do. And if you've never done cables, so what did I say? Yeah, cables before. It would be a really nice one. Yes. And also simple for both. It's an 8-row repeat, and you only do cable 1 on 1 row. So this pattern will be coming out. It's being tested at the moment, and it will be coming out a big flock. So come along to our booth. I'm going to give 1 sock to Claire and John for their stand, and we'll have one at ours.
It's like paint. It's like a painting. this yarn.
It's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, so there'll be a chance to win a skein each day.
Are you going to throw the pattern in?
Yeah. If they haven't already bought it.
Yeah. Cool.
So, yeah. So, doesn't design a pattern all year and 2 come out the same weekend. But I just had to do it for Big Flock because I thought it deserved a... So in here...
How many things are in there?
2 things.
I was going to say, the bag's huge.
And Simon has been promoted to the big rabbit bag. Yeah, so it last sock, and it's literally, don't know why I cast it on, apart from the fact that I found this yarn while I was tidying up, and it's Drops Fable, called Long Paint, and it's oh my God, colour 650, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's got an on Wool Warehouse, it has a name, but I just...
Why is that called Life's a Peach then? That's the pattern?
Yeah.
Right. I thought the yarn was...
So I thought about doing just a vanilla sock, but then I thought maybe I'll just do the cuff differently and then do vanilla. So I got this, I remembered this pattern, which is by Prairie Girl Knitwear.
Really cute.
And she's Susie White, but she's Prairie Girl Designs or something. We'll link it below. And I've knitted these, like this is the 3rd time or 4th time I've knitted it. So when I first started knitting socks, it was, her pattern was part of a knit along I did or something. But yeah, so I really like it. And it's got this tuck, it's called a tuck stitch, you knit below on those ones. But the colour, I just love the colours. And I'm thinking about using this on something. But yeah, so I've got to this is my upstairs sock, and I'm just starting on the gusset. So
it's interesting to see the yarn in a stocking stitch as well as the texture.
Yeah, I just love this green. It's just like a kind of mottled, mild colours. It's lovely. So you need 50-gram balls. So you need 2 balls. I've got another one. And I'll just tell you a slightly distressing story. I have these Leica DPNs, which I do not like. My husband, in the tidy up, I've lost at least 2 sets of DPNs. I don't know where they are, so buy them again. But
You're going to buy them again?
I'm going to see how I go. I like to have my DPNs in all my sock projects, and I have to say I don't normally have this many socks lately. This many socks on the needles.
Yeah.
Oh, that your foot.
Yeah. Ankle.
So
sorry.
As I finish them, obviously I'm not going to be casting on more socks. So
yeah.
Right. How far are we doing now? So that's
WIPs.
all the socks. Now we're on to WIPs. You can go first.
Thanks.
I've got 3, possibly 4.
So I have.
Which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk about garment. I haven't done
we haven't got any
garments for a while. So I cast this on a while ago. I am trying to copy a sweater that I saw in a shop. And I think I just worked it out the other day. I need another probably the same again. Basically, it's a raglan where I'm making it up as I go along, but the number of stitches that you split the sleeves and the yoke and the neck on, back and front on, is exactly the same. So you get a really deep raglan and the really wide sleeve.
Do you know what? I think that's the same pattern as my sock.
Yeah.
4-row.
So I just made that up.
Is it a 4-row?
Yeah. There's an 8-row repeat because it's like staggered.
Oh right, so mine's not staggered, but it's the same.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
So yeah, and it's black.
Is this
So
is this bamboo?
It's what you gave me, the Sahara.
Oh, I did.
Dropped Sahara. Is it?
This cotton, 100% cotton.
Yeah. That's not the label. That's just me writing down how many stitches I need to do before I split for sleeves.
What size needle are you on?
I'm on a 3.5.
Oh right. This feels really small.
Yeah.
So that's come back out of the.
That's come back out.
Can you believe I fit a sock in mine and Joe crammed a sweater?
Yeah. So I'm just like it came all the way to Tenerife and didn't have anything worked on it. But yeah, just plugging away at that, and hopefully it will be done in time to wear during the warmer weather, but slightly cooler maybe, because the sleeves are going to come to about there, so the armhole is probably going to come
so not
to about there,
so not a long sleeve at all.
and then but I don't think I'm going to do that many I might just decrease just before the rib and kind of bring it in slightly, but not like
massively.
It's all trial and error because there's no pattern and I'm making it up as I go along.
So let's do this one first, because I have finally, and I'm going to have finished him before Big Flock. I've actually been working. What was that? Oh, that's my. Where did it go?
On the floor.
Oh right, like that. The other bit.
Yeah.
Look, this Simon's a slippy boy on the needles. The eyes are luxurious. So, hold that. So this is my 6th Simon. Simon number 5 is in the naughty corner, but this is the 6th one. And when I last showed him, I was halfway through the middle section. So that's the end of the middle section, and I've done 4/5 of the section 5, is it? 5. But it's absolutely beautiful. It is soft as.
It's so much more tonal than
you think.
Yeah.
And I'm knitting it in Bird Street merino mohair, and you can see where I've been folding it. So. It's in the colourways Crema is the pale colour, and old number 7 is the toffee caramel colour.
Oh, that's going to be so squishy.
It's going to be beautiful.
Autumn.
Yeah. So, and I'm determined to finish him.
Did you go up a needle size?
Just be careful because mine.
Did you go up a needle size?
I don't think so.
Right.
3.5, I think. Yeah. But I'm loving it.
Do you have enough yarn?
Well, Joe gave me. I was definitely going to run out of Crema, so Joe's given me her leftovers. Possibly. I'm not sure what I'm going to do at the moment. I'm hoping that it's getting smaller and smaller, and you are quite surprised at the end.
Yeah.
So I think that's what happened with my cowl.
That's what I kept doing with John. I kept folding it in half and seeing how much
actual fabric you had to make. So I think it's gonna. I'm hoping I've got everything,
because it does feel like it's never ending when you get to. It's on the floor.
Oh, can you see it? Can you?
I saw it go down there.
Okay. Sorry,
It still feels like it takes a while when you're turning.
I'm loving this.
But
I have to say. So he's back in the good books. And he stays upstairs and he gets worked on every morning.
Cool. Oh, excuse me, I'm so sorry.
And it's her, not you.
Huh?
It's me, not you. That's what you normally say, don't you? And you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I guess you're a bit. There you go. It's me, not you. You're the reason, not me.
You're yawning. For me, yawning. I'm not yawning because of you. I'm yawning because I'm hungry. Right. So, what have you got?
Have you got a Alexander?
Yes.
Have you? And talk about Kathleen's buttons.
Okay.
And then I'll talk about Paige number 2, and then
Okay.
we'll talk about Alexander last. I've got an
And
Alexander.
then I've got the new.
Oh yeah, you can go last with it.
Okay. So, is that the bag you want? This is from Botanical Yarn. It has the most
You
cute
don't want to
zip.
swap it for the
Nope.
tweezer.
Nope. So I wanted to try tin leaner, so the thin leaner from Santa's Garn.
Have you not do that?
The leaner is the same as Bell, Drops Bell,
Right.
and the tin leaner is the fingering weight version.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I've had some before because Meg stopped selling it and gave me some, but I haven't actually used it.
Right.
So
But you went and she now sells it again.
No, I got this from Oxford Yarn Store.
Okay.
I got 2 balls of the blue, and which is number 6044.
And what are you doing with blues? All
I
this
know.
time?
I just love this blue. And then I'm pairing it with this kind of like grey,
Silver grey,
oatmeal kind of.
Yeah.
It's got a slight beige tone to it.
Beautiful.
And that is colour 3820. And I was going to make an Alexander. And I was like, so many Alexanders. Do you need another Alexander?
Nice and tin leaner.
No. Yes. So this morning I cast on. I cast on a Granny Kathleen's buttons and a stripy version, and that's as much as I've done. So these are on my new.
Oh, you can tell a story about the needles.
My new Arnie and Carlos needles.
Were they the ones that you were knitting on the flight with?
Yeah. No, I was knitting. Yes, I was knitting John on the flight, and people kept kind of walking past and looking at me, and we were waiting we'd just been in the queue to get our bags, and we were debating whether to go to the facilities before we went our separate ways to get home. And this lady went, "Can I just stop you a minute?" And Fiona and I were like, and she went, she held onto my arm. She was like, "My friend knits, and she saw you knitting on the aeroplane. What needles were you using? Because do they not take your needles off you?" And I was like, well, technically you can take needles on the aeroplane, but I always take prim needles on the aeroplane because they're plastic.
Yeah.
She said, "Oh, are they specially for aeroplanes?" And I was like, "No, they're actually they're ergonomic. They're for people who have."
Especially for iron.
Yeah, they're for people who want a lightweight
Yeah.
needle, and I actually love them. So I bought a set of 3 3mm, 3.5mm, and 4mm, and I've cast on my Granny Kathleen's buttons on it.
You had some other ones as well, didn't you?
I've had 2 sets of these. Yeah,
Cool.
I love them.
So it's on
But
the,
yeah, so
it's on the needles.
and my husband was just stood there going,
I thought that she told me, I thought they were going to, she's going to say, are you Twinset&Purl?
No,
That would have been,
yeah, that would have been funny. But yeah, she talked to us for ages. Oh look, that stitch marker goes just with that, so that might have to go in there. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm going to do first, but
oh, I've got my needle gone through a stitch. Right, so this is my new pixie bag from her spring. I got it with those minis, which I need to find because God knows where everything is. And as soon as I finished my page, I just knew that I needed another one on the needles. And because it's a one skeiner, you can pick like any skein of yarn that you. So I picked my. I didn't know my book in. I checked the name of that one. Oh, what's it called? It's something like Shooting Star. It doesn't quite make sense. Yeah, so I just knit on this like if I have to go to the hospital or anything like that, because it's just garter. And it's green and pink, which is my combo du jour with a bit of navy blue. So there's some coming up that's solid navy.
nice.
And I am 7 stitches from. Now I've got fluff. 7 stitches from the centre, from the middle section.
Cool.
So yeah, so I'm loving it. And it's supposed to be.
Is this a fingering weight one? See, it feels quite thick.
And I've got my elephants, which I haven't put on.
It feels quite thick.
Yeah, for sock yarn. Maybe.
No, it's I can see it's fingering weight, but it feels
Yeah.
quite thick.
I think
It's
it
not
works,
It's obviously not as thick as that.
but it works for.
no.
People do use that instead of
Yeah. Spin cycle.
spin cycle.
It's lovely.
And I'm using my
Lilliput white.
White reclaimed jewellery progress keeper, which
Nice.
camouflage. It's like it melds straight into them. So yeah, so that's just
So you don't knit on that every day?
yeah, half an hour every day. But I feel like
Oh, I thought you said you took it to the hospital.
I do because it's easy. I do feel like I'm a shawl knitter at the moment. It's what I want to cast on all the time.
Yes, I
Obviously
actually want to cast on some garments.
But also well, we're going to cast on our
Yeah.
Lady Violets.
I want to knit, there's 2 Isabel Kramer sweaters that I want to knit.
So do you want to talk about Alexander's and then
Yeah. So my Alexander is not a lot to write home about, but the yarn is new.
right.
So I'm doing a
New-
lace weight.
Oh my god, I didn't know that. Is it new, brand new, out?
I don't know.
Or new to
This is the yarn that I knit your Morris.
my lace weight Morris, which I love.
Yeah. And I
Oh, that's so
tried
cute.
to do I tried to pull it from the middle and had a bit of yarn bar off.
Oh right.
So it's a bit of a mess. But
Oh no.
this is what, and I had to buy a needle as well. So I don't know whether this is going to become a thing or whether I'm going to start again, because I bought a 3.25 millimetre needle.
Right.
And I'm wondering whether it needs to be a 3 millimetre. You can tell me what you think.
Yeah.
So this
What's
is
your blue cable?
okay. It was. I wanted a short tip, so I had to buy interchangeables.
Oh right. But the cable came with it.
No, the cable was a separate purchase.
Is it Knit Pro?
Yeah.
I love these tips. These cheap ones.
So this is
Oh, sorry.
the stripes of
It's easier to see on the other side.
The stripes of,
Looks like bag
of an
purse.
Alexander. It does look like bag purse. But I love those colours.
Yeah. No, I think it's lovely. I think I would possibly go down a needle side. Oh, it's so soft.
Mm. I was meeting Lizzie for coffee, and I hadn't. So I was.
You left your knitting bag.
I was organised.
Does she sell? They sell the needles.
Yeah, I was organised, and then as I went to the door, the postman was there, and he gave me something.
Right.
And I went to put it down, put my knitting down, left, and then was like walking up the road, thinking, I haven't got any knitting to do. I have to go buy some yarn.
What is going on here?
I know. I need to sort it out. It's not even been in its own project bag. It was just in a
right. I think it's okay. Can you remember what needle you used for Morris? With it?
I think I used a 3.5.
Yeah. I think you need to do a bit more. I think if you look at those stripes, it's fine. I think that's how you judge.
Yeah.
And that looks fine to me.
Yeah.
I've decreed.
Can you look up what colour that's called?
Yeah.
It's colour 4315, and it's this like bubblegum pink. And then I think this one's marzipan.
What's it called?
It's alpaca folgetard.
There we go.
Does it actually give you the colours, the names?
I haven't got the colour. What's the colour?
4315.
Oxford Yarn Store. Bubblegum.
Bubblegum.
Oh, that's the mohair.
I think it's the same though, isn't it? Don't they call them the same thing?
Alpaca Companion Yarn, it's called. Bubblegum pink.
Bubblegum pink and
What's this one?
2315. No, 2321.
Marzipan.
Marzipan.
It's so nice. And that was mine.
Oh yeah, so this might become my work knitting.
Oh, I think you need
Just
urban chic and poppy. I really want.
Ooh,
I've seen
poppy and cocoa nibs would be nice.
I've seen lots of this sunny line in the other.
I like cocoa nibs. Those two would be nice together.
Yeah, they would.
Cocoa nibs and marzipan would be nice as well.
Lemon.
So this is going to be light as a feather, and because there's 400 meters of on each of these.
How about magenta and marine blue?
So yeah, this might become my work, my work knitting. We'll see how it goes. See if I can sort out that yarn bath first.
So I also had to cast on another Alexander as soon as I finished my cowl, and this is living in my Hohi Cubio
And yours is the opposite of mine.
yellow suede,
isn't it?
Cubio bag.
Yours
Yes.
is the opposite.
And I loved the yarn I knit my cowl in so much that I bought, and it's an acquisition. I did bring the rest of it with me, but I don't. So I got more baby yarn, Isaiah baby yarn in that colourway 10, and then I got edition 3 in colourway Fool's Gold. It's called.
What's Fool's Gold? It's more like mango sorbet.
Yeah. So this is how far I've got. So I'm on the 5th stripe. Just started.
Start the 5th stripe.
So, and it's just going to be. I'm doing a medium, and it's going to feel amazing around my neck. So yeah,
That I-cord is chunky.
yeah, that's lovely, isn't it? Because it feels like really cottony, like not irritating at all.
Yeah.
beautiful. So there are many options. I've got some more of this in like a pale pink and dusty pink and brown and stuff, and I might get some to make another cowl.
And that would go with that, wouldn't it?
Next time. It's not enough, is it?
No, but you could get...
I don't want the same.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm gonna...
What colours do they do in that then?
They do, well, 10. I don't know. Number 10. I saw that and that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
But I've got another ball of this. So when Jo writes the hat pattern, I'll be sorted.
Yeah.
Or the mittens.
There will be a hat.
Or the mittens.
I've decided there's going to be a hat
Yeah.
because I've got yarn from my small one left over.
Yeah. So yeah,
It
so
needs to be a
that
hat.
is one Alexander, and then I have a surprise for you. So Maggie was here. Thank you, Maggie, for coming to visit me. Always so lovely. And so living in this lovely bag from Botanical Yarn. And we were chatting, and I said, I've got this idea to modify Alexander. So we're calling it Alexander 2.0, and I'm knitting him in Santa's Garn Sunday in dark chocolate and Malabrigo sock in the pearl colourway. But I bought this in Norway, in Oslo, to make a Simon with some mohair that I had never knitted. So this is my Alexander. You like it?
I'd already thought about doing that.
Oh, you were doing it circles. You said.
No, yeah, but I thought about that as well.
Oh, right.
But that's really cool.
Yeah. So every
We just add a
20 rows.
bit to the pattern
Yeah.
and say what people do. Oh, it's cool.
But you do need more of a
Contrast.
yeah, and a solid, because on the some of them you don't see it as it's not as much of a contrast. So yeah.
No, it's cool.
So I've just started the 5th stripe of that one.
So, which do you prefer? This is exactly the same to knit.
You have to pay attention to this one more, but I think the yarn of the other one wins.
Sunday's nice though, isn't it?
It is lovely. Oh, this is lovely. It's a thinner. It's definitely a thinner, and very me. I think like that's instantly the kind of I like plaid and checker and stuff. So
No, it's cool.
I think it will be.
Yeah. No, it's lovely.
So that's a little surprise for you. While you've been
I
on
can't work out how you've knitting so many of them.
how you've been on holiday.
How do you pick which one you want to knit? You've only got one stopper on that as well.
Because it's in there. That one. This one doesn't slide off. This one's not naughty like that one. Like the other side, the Simon shawl, the yarn is just so soft and slippery and
Yeah.
So that is for me. That is it for knitting.
Have you got crochet?
No.
Oh.
Because I've.
Thought we were going to get to crochet corner.
No, we're not having crochet corner
And Jo
because
was going to struggle to keep her.
her emotions to
Yeah.
herself. And somebody commented on that to me the other day. That you're bored by. So no, I showed my crochet.
Yeah, I was eating Jakeman's raw knitting.
And not throwing them away.
I was actually on the air.
Oh, right, okay.
I just put them.
So you just took this yarn away with you?
Yeah. Well, I have a friend at work who's turning 40 in the middle of May, and one of my other friends, when she turned 40, I designed a shawl for her. So, and it was named after the place where she used to live in Bristol, because we were doing
it's modified Totterdown.
and we were doing Bristol more
names
kind of Bristol names in those days. But I found this yarn, and it's the Cotton Merino from Knitting for Olive, and this is the colourway Terracotta Rose, which is beautiful, sort of quite a dark pink.
It's so fine.
And I thought I'm going to design something while I'm away.
It's more cotton than merino, 70 cotton,
Cool.
30 merino.
So I'm designing the Amy shawl, and
Which works on 2 levels, doesn't it?
yes, we have a niece called Amy, and I have a friend called Amy.
Yeah.
And it's a really simple pattern. If you've never done lace before, I think you would be able to do it. So it's got this peacock lace on the border, and then stocking stitch and 1 pearl bump ridge. It's a 6
Which lines up, doesn't it, with the...
Yeah, it's a 6-row repeat. And I've done it so that the tip, often on some of these shawls, I start it with the...
you cast on the number of stitches?
on the number of stitches. But what I've done is build up to the fan, and then you start increasing from here for the shawl. And I 3 repeats into section 3. I'm still on the first ball. I'm knitting up on 4mm needles, so it's got a slightly looser gauge. But I think it's lovely for a summer.
Yeah, you're a tight knitter though. So.
And I am going to knit a wool version from my niece, because
her birthday's in January.
I'd also like to see it in a wool, like a speckle.
Yeah, it'd be lovely. I'll tell you what, I've got 2 skeins of merlin on alpaca cashmere silk.
That'd be lush. Yeah, so that was my
holiday
poolside knitting.
Very good, Jo.
While we
Had
were
you had the
away.
idea before you went?
No.
So it was total holiday design. That's lovely.
Yeah. I'm just thinking. Oh no, I know where my piece of paper is. But yeah. So yeah, I think that's really sweet. Simple but effective.
Yes, it's lovely. I love it.
So
I'll
I don't
taste
know
it
when
for
I
you.
don't know when that'll be coming out.
I'll be in the test knit.
Granny Kathleen first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got 2 cowls to
I really
design
feel
as
like
well.
once Simon's off the needles,
Yeah, you'll have more.
yeah, there's.
Yeah.
But I was going to put him on hold until the autumn, but no, I added him to the 30 minutes of knitting.
And that's in my Cerise Legato Sunshine bag, which was very appropriate for holiday.
Love it.
Love it. Right.
So, acquisitions.
I haven't got very many.
Let's just start quickly with this parcel that arrived. So, we
That's going to be
have
a long one.
lovely, we have a lovely viewer in Australia called Liz, and she won.
Oh, the Knitting for Olive Simon prize.
Was it her? Was it a giveaway?
I thought it was.
I also sent a prize to Australia. Anyway, I can't actually remember. Please find just sort of gift away. Anyway, thank you, Liz, for the parcel. She asked us actually if you wanted.
Yeah.
Well, she said she wanted to send some Australian Australian yarn, so that we could, try some.
Yeah.
So the package arrived and it had contained these 2. Do you want blue or pink? I think she has pink.
I don't mind. I'll have whichever one you don't like. We don't. We
two
don't have.
bags, which is there. It's this. I've seen these. They're like cherubs,
Yeah.
aren't they? Called by May Gibbs, and these are designed to raise. I think they've to raise money for the Cerebral Palsy Alliance. So it's North
Oh, right.
and Society Cerebral Palsy Alliance clutch bag. So they're not necessarily a project bag. It's just a bag to
Is it
So-
just a piece of cardboard inside?
yeah.
Without cardboard.
It will soften up, I think.
Yeah.
The fabric
No, that's really cute.
is I've got twins on mine.
100% cotton.
What's that flower? What's that tree that maybe Australian tree that we don't have? What are
It
they
looks
called?
like
Catkins.
It looks like catkins.
Oh, there's two here. They're quite cute. Yes. So thank you for those, Liz. And then she sent yarn, and I assumed that these two were for Jo to knit a shawl, and the sock set was for me to knit socks. And I have to say, I've aired them. They did have a very strong smell when they arrived from the. I think they basically spray stuff when it leaves the country, but now it's smells fine. And so Jo's is pink. Bendigo Woolen Mill, and I've heard of the Bendigo Yarn Show.
Yeah.
So that's and that looks a bit like a Zagor ball, doesn't it?
70% wool, 30% nylon.
I don't know how it's got glitter on
Does it come off this?
it. Sparkly.
Don't know.
Yeah.
So that's.
I
that
think
one,
they're the
don't
same
know what-
colourway,
No, I don't know if they are.
because that's
Oh,
as you get into it. Is there yellow in that?
I guess.
Oh, maybe not. I think you could
Perhaps
perhaps,
stripe them.
yeah, for like a Maggie or something, or maybe come up with a little different.
No, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, and then I mean, if you want the sock set, you can have the sock set as well.
It's okay.
But
Does it
it's
say what the colourway is? Cotton candy
yeah.
shade 2320
Is that the? Oh no, that's the yarn, multi-coloured sock yarn.
yarn.
And then this is this yarn is dyed by
Very soft.
Sally Ridgway in Tasmania. That's her info. Well, Jo will put stuff in there. You can have that to put in there. And this is 85% marine, Australian merino, 15% nylon. Supreme sock in the Chantilly colourway.
Nice. Very
You
pretty.
can always make you a pair of socks, couldn't you? And it comes with this mini, which is called Elusive. Yeah, thank you, Liz.
You may want to put it with a neutral for a shawl.
Yeah, that would make quite a nice olive between olive and pine. My idea that I had, if not cutting off the end. And then she sent 2 notebooks. And one that's made and designed in Tasmania. The koalas on. And then this looks like
Aboriginal.
yeah. I don't think it actually says, but yeah. So I don't know which. Do you need a notebook? You want a notebook? You don't write much down, but got the koalas.
I don't mind.
Aboriginal.
I quite
That's
like
thicker.
the colour of that.
Yeah, have that then. And I'll have the koalas. How many pages does it say? 32. That's 64 projects. For a book, that's
Yeah,
quite
so
good.
thank you very much, Liz. Cause,
Yes, all the way from
it's
Australia.
Yeah, it's a
very
long way
exciting.
to send something.
It's lovely, and we hope that you're enjoying whatever the prize was that we sent you. And then next we're going to talk about at Yarn Club that we've joined. So, you know, we have a soft spot. New girl crush is Amy from
Amy
and Florrie, and she's been doing this amazing yarn club, travelling the world. It's called what's the yarn club called? It's about travelling. It's about travelling, isn't it? So each month she picks a destination. She puts so much effort into it. So this was the inspiration, the rough guide to Maui. So we're going to Maui this month. But she does, there's a Ravelry group, a playlist on Spotify for Maui, and an itinerary of where you're going. And it says it's a holiday in Maui with friends, a chilled knitting break. So you get the first month you subscribe, you get one of her bag, drawstring backpack bags, and then you so Jo will link her website. You get a stitch marker. I think that's only the first month, but they're really cute. It's on like glittery
Past it. Progress keeper.
Yeah, progress keeper. And this is Meet Me in Honolulu, Let's Go to Maui. And I've got the adventure sock, which is BFL nylon, and Jo has got singles. And it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's got this lovely bright green, and it's definitely going to be socks. Did I say that, or did I say I was going to knit a one skein?
You said you were going to knit a one skein.
Oh yeah, because I've got an idea.
But yes,
So
beautiful.
yes, love it, Amy. And you do, it's just such a
Treat.
yeah,
Like,
a real treat. And you subscribe. You can, I think you can then cancel, but you just subscribe and it just keeps coming each month. Obviously you pay each month, but and I wish that I'd started in January, and but we weren't buying yarn in January. That all went down the pan in February. But yeah, so I especially liked last month's.
Yeah.
So yeah. But if you don't follow Amy on Instagram, then follow her, and also follow lovely Dorita. She comments or posts
Dorita
up
Smith
on all of Amy's,
Yeah.
but she knits the most amazing things with Amy's yarn. And with this, she's been knitting in our sock along. So she's knitted a pair of Twinset&Purl socks each month. So I don't know what she's going to do this month, but yes. And lovely.
What was I going to say about that? Sockle? No.
Dorita.
It's gone.
She test knits a lot of Jo's patterns. She loves Simon, and now she loves Alexander. And she's doing beautiful blue and turquoise Alexander at the moment in Amy's yarn.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do with mine at all.
And Amy is going to be at the Buxton Wool Gathering, which is the same weekend as Big Flock. So if you're going to that, go and say hi to Amy.
She's also at the one we're going at.
Yeah, the Cumbrian Wool
Cumbrian
Gathering.
Wool
It's the same.
I know what I was going to say. Is she going to do an advent calendar? Does she do advent calendars? I'm tempted by the Camel's yarn.
The 5 skein one. Yeah, I think that's will be good for you.
Very tempted
Other
by
than
that.
these. I'm tempted by the Lay family yarn one, even though you're
Deciding that we're on the back.
which is now official, so you can say it, talk about it.
Right, so other acquisitions. I bought this bag from Hohi. I saw it advertised,
Yeah.
and I was just like, I
love
love that colour, and I like the concept of it. So it's a bucket, not really a tote, a bucket bag, and then you can pull the strap down and have it as a backpack. So the back that pulls it in.
Yeah, but how can it be a backpack?
Well, not a backpack, but like a shoulder.
Yeah.
So it goes over your shoulder. Like that.
I don't think you have to demonstrate.
That's kind of your back, isn't it?
Well, it is kind of.
It's not a.
No, it's like it's a bit like the knitters, the Ritual Dyes knitters backpack that I had. I bought.
So yeah, so I bought that. It's this
Yeah.
lovely leather
Yeah,
that she
it's
uses,
beautiful.
and then on this strap it says 1 stitch at a time.
Oh, it's lovely.
Embossed. The only thing that I would have done differently, and I don't know if it's possible to have done it differently, it's got a pocket on the inside, and I would have put the pocket there.
Right.
So it's on the side there,
Mm-hmm.
and I would have put it where you pull it in because
it doesn't lie as flat
it's
as the other
not
side.
flat.
Right.
And also, like if you want to put your wallet
Yeah, somebody could still easily
in
get
there,
it.
it has to bend. It doesn't really
Yeah.
work as well, so I don't know whether I might make
Comment.
a comment and just see. But yeah, because if
Pretty
that
sure
was,
Hobie doesn't watch this.
no, but no, I mean to her on
Oh, yeah,
Instagram.
yeah, yeah.
But like if that bit,
Yeah, because it's only
was-
sewn in under that lip.
yeah,
of that.
so it could be. I'm quite actually, I might be tempted to unpick it and move it.
Stitch through leather.
I might see if Lizzie would do it for me.
Right.
Anyway. And then I also bought some yarn. So when I bought the blue and grey for Alexander, that's now become a Granny Kathleen's buttons, I also bought, I was going to buy 2 each of those, and they only had one of the spicy orange, so I bought one of each, and it's going to be an Alexander cowl, possibly with a little variation. So we'll see what happens. But I like those 2 colours together.
Yeah,
Spicy
lovely.
orange and like a pale peach pink.
Does it say what colour it is?
So that's
Oh, right,
4002 and that is 3819. I'd like a top in that.
Yeah.
And this is my 3mm prim.
Right.
There was the needles I was
Yeah.
going to show last time but didn't.
Use that for the lace.
Yeah.
Unless you want small tips.
Yeah. And then at the Oxford Yarn Store I bought wheat in cotton merino and red currant. That was also going to be an Alexander cowl. So
Is it one of each? You only got one of each?
yeah, 250 metres of each, and I also bought that little progress keeper that Lizzie's mum
Was
makes.
that all I bought? Those 2 balls of...
No, sure you bought something else. And then I also bought this, which is what number is it?
Spring
24.
Spring
Number
2025.
24.
Right, all right. Spring 25.
Spring 25, and there are so many patterns in here that I want to knit. I love that cardigan on the front.
Are we going to do you could do a little...
Yeah, I'll just show you one more that I definitely am going to knit.
Like that navy blue jumper. Oh, that's gorgeous. What's it called? Flecks of Sunshine. Oh, it's lovely.
And it's leaner. So
it's 4 5mm needles.
it's DK. The
Oh, right.
so it's drop spell would do it as
Right.
well. So
Oh, it's gorgeous.
I don't know what millimetre needles it is. I'm possibly going to have to go up needle size. 3.5 and 4. So 3.5 for the
That's
rib,
DK,
I guess,
isn't it?
and then 4. It's 120. No. Drop spell is 120 metres per 50 grams. Leaner by Santa's Gone is 110 metres per
Right.
50 grams. But that's
Some
also in Spicy Orange. So, yeah, that's.
Oh, I forgot about this. Is that all you got?
Yeah.
That is just my other balls of
The only other thing is this is the packaging from those needles that I bought that I showed on the. So it was a nylon cable and Basics Beach.
I apologise.
So those were the needles, that blue cord and the wooden tip.
And that's the rest of my yarn for my Alexander. And when Maggie came to visited me for the day, she gave me a present from Amsterdam. She'd just been to Amsterdam, her best friend, her husband, and she went to Stephen and Penelope, and she bought me this blue undercover otter, and it's called Society. It's the colourway, and it's merino, yak, and silk. So that's got to be something near my face. Oh, I think her husband's just come home. So yeah, and then I very quickly, last acquisition, do you want any more? No. This is my wool kitchen yarn that I purchased to knit crochet my sample of the Divine Flower Cowl. So that's the merino silk, and in the colourway Iris, and that's got some
that's beautiful.
speckles. And then this is the mohair.
It's interesting how it goes.
It doesn't.
The silk goes.
Yeah,
it makes it.
And then this is just normal wool. Mohair silk, and it's in the colourway Love Hearts, which was I think it was her February colourway.
And some of that might be coming my way.
Yes. I won't use hardly any mohair for maybe like 5 round, 10 rounds. So yeah, so I'll be doing that this week and getting ready for the show. So we did have other things to talk about, but I think
2 hours.
2 hours of us is enough for anybody. So we will talk about new patterns and stuff.
Yeah, next time I'll bring the yarn that I want to knit my Isabel Crane patterns.
And hopefully we'll have started our Lady Violets or Lady Whistledowns. So let us know. So comment below if you
would like a ticket to
Big Flock and say ticket. And if you don't want a ticket, don't mention ticket, but you can talk about whatever you want. So let us know if you're going to cast on one of our sweaters. And we look forward to joining.
If you started Alexander yet, I've seen a few started.
And join.
And in the Facebook group or on Ravelry, or Instagram, we just love seeing the colours that people pick for our patterns.
So and if you haven't and you'd like to join the Facebook group, there's a few questions to answer. I let you in. Joe very rarely lets anyone in. That wasn't meant in any kind of way.
Yes, it was, because she's passive aggressive.
But you've missed me.
Right, are you going to make me a sandwich?
I am. Love you all the world.
I know you've missed me.
I have missed you. Have you not missed me?
Of course I have. But I did talk to you nearly every day.
I told you, you're on holiday, you don't have to talk to me every day. But it's always nice to know what you're doing. Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
We will see you all in a couple of weeks. We
will podcast unless we're absolutely exhausted. We might podcast the Friday night before the show, although it would be good to talk about the show a bit, but
we can always do that next time.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right, we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Have a good spring or autumn, wherever you are in the world, and keep knitting.
Bye. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.